Justin Bieber's new album is on the way. The Kardashian papers are in. And I don't know if y'all saw, but Taylor Swift just slammed Netflix. We gonna get into all of that right on here in the green chair. Let's get into it.
Manifest, now I'm blessed. Life is sour, then it's sweet, like the lemon with the zest.
Hello. Hi, my name is Courtney, your homosexual, and welcome to A Geek with Me, home of the Green Chair Chats, and of course, home of speculation, not confirmation. This is the pop culture kiki that you have been missing. And you know what? We've got a lot of things here in our little tea party here today. So be sure to sit down, like this video, especially if you're into whoever is in the thumbnail, and tell me what is going on with you today in the comments. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Wait, I did this as for C. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Let me know what's good, and I'm gonna bounce on over into the chizzy chat. Brittany is saying, ooh, we starting with the flame emojis. Hi, hey! Hello. I am very excited to see you guys today. We've got our good sis Bianca. Bianca is saying, always great seeing and watching you, Courtney. And let me tell you real quick, Bianca, I'm so excited to have you here today. And all of you guys watching, as not always, because I never ask you guys where are you from, I am curious to know where you guys are from, because I know that this particular audience is like past audience since I've had my channel forever, and then it's like newer people that know me from work. So actually tell me where you guys are watching me from, and let me tell you what's going on today. Well, actually, before I tell y'all what's going on today, y'all know I like to get off topic a little bit. Can I tell y'all that I tried Tyra Banks ice cream? And yes, I know that y'all didn't know that Tyra Banks had ice cream, but listen. Tyra Banks has ice cream, y'all. So that's what I did this weekend. She has what's called Smize cream, which is like a premium ice cream. So I went down with my mask on to Santa Monica to pick up some ice cream, and I had it with my boyfriend. And to be honest, you guys, Tyra Banks' Smize cream was banging. It wasn't too pricey for LA anyway. And in the middle is like a little bit of a cake surprise. It's almost like a little bit of like a cake pop in the middle of your goddamn ice cream, y'all. It was very tasty. So this isn't sponsored at all. Y'all know I'm poor. But shout out to Tyra. And the reason why I say that is because Tyra is the kind of woman that has been in many different industries, and she always knows how to create a business just based off of her brand. Like, we know Tyra is known for smizing. Hold on, if you're watching this, hit your smize real quick. This is my smize. I'm gonna try not to smile. Hang on. Were you smizing with me? I feel like I'm like Steve on Blue's Clues. I hope you were smizing. Anyway, Tyra's Smize cream was banging, y'all. So I think I'm gonna try and get myself some more this weekend. What are you guys talking about? I see these chats is blowing up. Oh, I see y'all. South Carolina. Shout out to South Carolina. My best friend is from South Carolina. Shout out to my Southerners out there. Massachusetts is here. Hey, Massachusetts. We got the Bay Area, Cali, right here in my state where I am, where you guys are watching today. Lindsay is saying, been with you for years, haha, but so happy to have time with you daily now. Yes, I'm very excited to be here with you guys today. As you guys know, I am here, Monday through Friday at this time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to get into all of the celebrity tea. But you know what, y'all? I think it's time to get into some tea. Well, first, let me shout out Mr. Makeshift, because Mr. Makeshift is from Florida, and I love Florida, to be honest, you guys. I worked for Disney. I did the Disney college program like 8 years ago, almost at 7, 8 years ago. So I know what it's like to live in Florida, or at least Orlando, Lake Buena Vista, if you know the area. Shout out to Florida. Now, Lizzie's saying, we are having an open house today, and I've got to give my cat an anxiety pill. Wish me luck, y'all. Y'all know I am a cat man. So Lizzie, I'm actually wishing you all of the luck, because I know that depending on what kind of cat you have, they can be very not flexible. Not flexible. I think that's the nicest way to put it. But you guys, we have a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. We've got Vanessa Bryant news, Billie Eilish news, thank the Lord, because I know that all of y'all watched that documentary. Y'all already know I'm going to be selfish and talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we're going to get into this T.I. and Tiny news. And I'm very curious to know what you guys think of the situation and how you feel about T.I. and Tiny moving forward. And also, Kim and Kanye's divorce papers are out. Finally, there's been a lot of speculation, me being the head of the speculation, in terms of what is really going on with the fallout of their marriage. And we're going to get into all of that, what the details are, and what Kim want and what Kanye want, this, that, and the third. And also, right when I woke up today, Taylor Swift, she had a couple things that she wanted to say about Ginny and Georgia over at the old Netflix. So I saw the Swifties were very, very, very rattled yesterday, Sunday afternoon. So I'm very surprised, but I feel a little bit empowered that Taylor is standing up for herself. She said, y'all gonna stop talking about me. But we're gonna get into that just a little bit later on in the show. So sit down, stay a while, get your snacks, say hi to your coworkers before you put your earbud in. And if you're in class, you could listen, but you better be passing. I know that. We stay in school here. But let's get things started with Vanessa Bryant. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. Now, Vanessa Bryant wants to publicly name the deputies accused of sharing the photos of the victims in the helicopter crash that unfortunately killed Kobe Bryant, daughter, and the others on the plane as well. Now, this report comes from Revolt, and this is basically saying that Vanessa Bryant wants to publicly release the names of the 4 Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies who allegedly leaked unauthorized photos of the site of the helicopter crash that killed her husband, Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and the 7 other passengers. She posted on Instagram stating, "The Sheriff's Department wants to redact the names of the deputies that took and or shared photos of my husband, daughter, and other victims. They want their names to be exempt from the public. Anyone else facing allegations would be unprotected, named, and released to the public." Very interesting. "Not all law enforcement is bad. These specific deputies need to be held accountable for their actions just like everyone else." She included the hashtag double standard. Now, you guys, there's a lot there, to be honest. What do we think? Do you think that Vanessa is valid in feeling this way? Do you feel like it's fair, right? There's a lot of conversation around doxing. This would be well, is it really doxing, right? The reason why I wonder, and I want to ask you guys, do you feel like this is doxing? Because in a normal case where a deputy may have done this, or a normal person may have done this, a civilian, what have you, their identity would be released to the public. We would know who they are. We would be stalking them on social media, sending them hate mail. Not saying you or I, but that's what people would do. They would let their voice be heard. Do you feel like this is a little bit unfair that these particular officers get their identity redacted? Do you want to know the identities of the people that took those photos at the crash site? Let me know. Oh, Mr. Makeshift is saying, wait, what? Why are people showing images? Yeah, Mr. Makeshift, I too was very, very shocked and surprised to find this out. But it turns out that when the helicopter did crash, some of the law enforcement out there, they were taking photos of the crash site, of the victims, and then how it got out was like one of the officers went to like a bar and was showing the photos around a crowded bar. Could you imagine your loved one, your family, being in such a horrible accident, number one, which God forbid, all of you guys, God forbid, and myself, that this would happen to any of us, but to then know that someone would take such an image and then show it to other people, I think it's disgusting. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Kat Elena is saying, yes, she has all the right. I agree. She has all the right and she needs to know. Miss Clea is saying so disrespectful, and I agree. I think that that's very disrespectful to even think, like, who even thinks to do something like this? Like, you're at a crash site and you're like, oh, let me take a picture of this. I don't like it. I think that Vanessa is grieving. I do want to point that out. It's only been like a year, and I want to let people know that the grieving process it's different for everyone. And I hate when people try to put like boundaries or limits on how long you're allowed to grieve. Although she is grieving, put that to the side because that's an emotional thing. We put that to the side. What the law enforcement did was awful. I think someone in the chat said sick and reprehensible. I wish I could scroll up and find that. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, I agree, Loa. Sick and reprehensible. Like, how could you even put yourself in the mindset to do something like that? It's very disrespectful. Shabria is saying, what you saying, Shabria? Shabria is saying this is so wrong and disrespectful. And the fact that they ran to the press, she has all the right to want this. And you know what? I absolutely agree. I just think that it's disgusting. And to think that you were maybe going to try to gain some clout off of it. Like, what were you trying to get off of it? Clout, money, attention. Is it worth it? Is it ever worth it, you guys? I don't know. I'm not feeling that. But let's move on to, I don't want to say lighter news, right? Because it's still sad news. But did you see that Billie Eilish documentary? I haven't seen it just yet, but I know a lot of you guys have probably seen it. Clips here and there I've seen, but it seems as though Billie Eilish is in kind of a way with her ex-boyfriend. It sort of took a look at her relationship, right? So Billie Eilish has, well, in her documentary, okay, you find out that she has this boyfriend and his name is Q. And in the beginning of the documentary, I guess they were pretty hunky-dory and they seem to be very much getting along just great, but they've broken up since. And at the end of the documentary, you see that they do break up. And Billie sort of states this as the reason why. She says, I just wasn't happy. I didn't want the same things he wanted, and I don't think that's fair for him. I don't think you should be in a relationship super excited about things that the other person couldn't care less about. I don't think that's fair to you. I don't think that's fair to him. There was just a lack of effort. I was literally like, dude, you don't have enough love to love yourself, so you can't love me, dude, and you don't. You think you do. And then she goes on to say, I do love him though, which made it harder. I'm not over him. I didn't find someone else. I didn't stop having love for him. I just spent time away from him for a little bit. And I was like, wow, I'm missing so much because I'm worried about you all the time. And I don't want what you want, and you don't want what I want. I don't want to fix him. I can't fix him. I tried. Now, interesting, because we see this a lot in relationships where it seems like these two souls have crossed and they're so in love, and then maybe one person sort of starts to lose interest. Maybe they have other interests that take precedence over, it comes before the relationship, Sucks for Billie, though. Sucks for Billie that she had to go through this and on camera. But I do want to point out the fact that she's still very young. I believe it said in the article that I read that in the documentary, Billie had forgotten the lyrics to one of the songs at Coachella, and she was asking the boyfriend to meet up with her to sort of console her. And he said something about he was going to try. I did not like that at all. If I'm going out on the Coachella stage and something traumatic happens to me, I shouldn't even have to be calling my boyfriend or my partner, whoever, or my support system will even do that. I feel like I should be like, you know what? I forgot the words. And as soon as I go backstage, my man is there, my support system is there. Sucks for her. But you know what? Billie Eilish is very mature. She's a very mature young lady, and she knows what she wants and what she doesn't want. And even though Q did not last in her life, I'm sure that he'll go on to do what he does best, whatever that is, music. And Billie can grow from this. Every broken relationship isn't a negative experience, because it really is true. Listen to me, right? Even if you don't like Billie Eilish, listen to me. I promise and swear to you that every hiccup, every bump in the road, every camel's hump, all of those things lead to growth. And you have to be open to those things, right? Billie Eilish is only gonna keep rising. So I'm not worried about her. What do you guys think? Miss Clea is saying, yes, did the right thing. Mr. Makeshift is asking, was bad guy her way of telling us about him and then therefore I am? Was the breakup response? I don't know, Mr. Makeshift. I don't know. Shabria is saying, girl, Chloe needs to take notes from Billie Eilish. That's how you know your worth and have self-respect for yourself. Shabria. You ain't never lied, because we already know that Chloe is very much giving us Insecure, giving us ooh, somebody loves you. Betty who, girl, somebody better love Miss Chloe. I don't think that it's Tristan, but y'all, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. A mess. Shout out to Cass. Cass is saying, loving your new show. Thank you so much, Cass, for supporting me and the channel. I really do appreciate any kind of support. Just you guys showing up and being active in the chat is everything to me. I appreciate and I love you guys. More than you know. Let me put that. Oh yeah, now y'all can see it. Yes, y'all know I'm using a new program. I'm trying to step it up for y'all. So I hope I'm looking all right, and I'm hoping the comments are showing up all nice and beautiful, because I love how this works. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to Brandy. Let's read Brandy. Brandy is saying, I needed my morning tea. I'll sip to that. So happy that I'm delivering it. You guys know that this is my heart and soul, delivering you guys the tea. And now it's tea. What do you and me? So let's get into it. Bam. Oh, 901 Erica is saying, did he see my super chat? Did I miss it? 901 Erica, I didn't see your super chat. I did miss it. My apologies. I see you, Mika. Mika is saying, Courtney is the best. Mika! I love you. It is always nice to meet you, Miss Mika. I love you very much. 901 Erica, I'm sorry that I missed your... There it is. There it is. 901 Erica says, Memphis, Tennessee. Love you, Courtney. So happy to get you back into my daily. Bam! I am glad to be here. Shout out to 901 Erica. Sorry if I missed your super chat, you guys. It's a whole entire dashboard set up, so I'm clicking back and forth, but I want to make sure that I show you guys all of the love. And there's our girl, Miss Mika Black. You already know Miss Mika Black. You know I was going to come right back. We wasn't going to leave you on the side of the road. We was going to come right on back, girl. You already know. But you guys already know what time it is. And if you don't, let me tell you right on now. Bam! It is time for the Real Housewives of Atlanta review, because you guys already know that this is one of my favorite shows. I don't miss it. Every single Sunday. I literally got the Sling app. I don't know, for those of y'all that don't have cable and are not going to pay for it, I got the Sling app, y'all, and I got Bravo. It's like Bravo, MTV, and honestly, Bravo, MTV, and VH1s are the only three networks I really need. Those three and Netflix, and I'm good. So the fact that I'm able to use Sling to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta live with everybody else on Twitter is everything. It's just everything. But let's get into it, right? So the Real Housewives of Atlanta new episode was last night, this past Sunday. And as I told you guys last week, we got this mid-season trailer, and we're sort of following the trail of that. This is the aftermath of this wild Cynthia Bailey girls bachelorette trip. And it sort of follows the aftermath of how the ladies tell their respective husbands what really went down at this wild bachelorette party. And I thought it was very interesting, you guys. Kenya and Portia are gonna go at it, I feel like, until the end of time. Kenya, I wanna ask you guys this, right? Say you guys are on, let me take them away, because I'm really curious about this. If you guys are on a big friends trip, like a guy's trip or a girl's trip, and you have a significant other, and let's say that this particular trip gets wild. There's a scripper, there are body parts being pulled out, something may or may not have happened in the wee hours of the night, maybe some boudoir moments, if you know what I mean. Do you go back and you tell your significant other, your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, do you tell them the full detail? Do you give them the full tea? Do you feel like that's what you should do? Do you feel like that's respectful? I want to say shout out to, gotta scroll up. Shout out to Loa Speaks. Loa Speaks says, thank you for staying with us, Courtney. You are part of my AM routine every day. You're a good friend and our 2-finger snap spot on. We love you and cheers to new beginnings. And I agree. Let me hold my mug this way, y'all. I don't have to hide labels anymore, y'all. Let me, this is my friend Slim. He's a mutual of mine on Twitter, and I love his deep-ass voice, and he's very knowledgeable about skin. And he's an esthetician, so please go ahead and follow him. Skin by Slim. So I want to support him. But back to the question. When you go on a girls trip or a trip sort of like this, where you go out with your friends and you're having fun and it's wild, do you go and you tell your significant other everything? The anchor of Love Podcast is saying, heck no. Patricia Casey is saying if it's going to be on TV, you have to get ahead of it. And Patricia, I very much agree with that. If you're going to be in a situation like that and you know it's taped, you have to come home, no matter how awkward it is. You have to come home and be honest, because at the end of the day, you guys, you don't want, if you really love your significant other, you do not want them to be embarrassed on a national level. It's one thing if you like do something stupid and it's in your town, you're like the town gossip for 2 weeks, but this was something that happened and everyone across the world can see it. It's very, very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. The Anchor of Love Podcast is saying you talk about that among your friends that were there, and I agree. So let me break this down. And Brandy's also saying some things belong just between the girls. Brandy! You hit it right on the head. Now let's get into it. Now, on this girls' trip, it seems as though Kenya was looking for a reason to stir the pot. After the girls had a wild night, she wanted to investigate and find out who slept with the stripper. And this episode basically follows her, not exactly pointing the finger at Portia, but insinuating that Portia was part of the fun, if you will. But, you guys, the biggest moment, the moment that really made me go, oh, was a moment when Tanya unfortunately incriminated herself. Basically, we already know that Kenya believes that Portia was the one that slept with the stripper. Kenya thinks that there was another woman in the room. And then Tanya said this.
I spent the night in this girl's room.
Y'all, just to put it together if you don't watch. If Portia is the woman that everyone suspects was sleeping with the stripper, Tanya is saying she spent the whole night in the room with Portia. Wouldn't that lead the viewer and all of the other ladies to believe that Tanya was involved with the stripperation boudoir moment? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. All I do want to say and leave y'all with is that Miss Tanya Sam, who I just played the clip from, she has exited the Real Housewives of Atlanta right after this trip. Right after that clip I showed y'all, we don't see Tanya at all. We haven't really seen her in the mid-season trailer at all either. And it's very, very, very interesting to see how this all is going to play out with Miss Tanya. I want her at the reunion. I want an explanation, and I want to know, why did you leave? Also, y'all, just because the clip didn't have any audio last week, I do want to reiterate that I believe that Miss Drew Sidora is going to bring it. Her and LaToya get into it, and I want to play this clip for y'all so that y'all can hear Miss Drew coming for her vacation braids, as she called it.
You weren't looking for God. You were looking for some...
What was she looking for, y'all? What was she looking for? You tell me. You tell me. I don't know. I'm ready. I know a lot of you guys don't watch, but I love Real Housewives of Atlanta. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and give it a watch. Start from season 1. Start from season 1 and let Nene Leakes take you on the wildest ride of your life. I promise you. For those of y'all that I put on, Brittany Harrington, Brittany, if you're here, girl, Brittany, let the girls know. Real Housewives of Atlanta is it. That's really my show. But moving on to some different news before we really get into it. Let's talk about Bobby Shmurda. Now, in case you guys don't know, Bobby Shmurda went to jail years and years and years ago, and he just recently got out for his good behavior. Shout out to Bobby. Y'all remember this dance? Is that the hey, girl, they done clicked off the video. A mess, just kidding. So basically, everyone online was very, very confused when they saw Bobby Shmurda in the club, minding his own business. But people were very confused when they saw him refuse a drink. Now I'm gonna play this video for you guys, nothing serious, just a few seconds, but just watch how casual this video is, and then let me break it down for y'all. He didn't want no drink. It's just very simple. But the internet kind of blew up over the fact that Bobby Shmurda was out in the club, and on top of that, he wasn't accepting a drink from a stranger. Now, you guys, I already know y'all are in the comments like, he's in the club in the middle of a panty, because I feel the same way, right? I want to be in the club. I want to dance with my friends. There's this remix of Sabrina Carpenter's Skin that is just really, it's really getting my life. I want to say it's I don't want to say it's the quarterback remix. It might be the quarter half remix or the quarter something remix, but Sabrina Carpenter and that DJ, y'all did that. But Bobby Shmurda gave a perfectly reasonable explanation as to why he wasn't accepting a drink in the club. Lots of viral tweets sort of speculating why. But it really just comes down to the fact that he's on parole. Y'all can't be out there drinking like that and you on parole? You know what I mean? You have to be careful. And you know what, you guys? I can't be mad at somebody that has gone to jail, done their time, and they are trying to stay out of trouble and turn their life around. You know, Bobby Shmurda could have came out and been caught sipping some lean, doing all sorts of substances and blacking out on the street. You know what I mean? But he hasn't been. He's been sort of minding his business thus far. And it seems as though he's going to try to steer his career in the direction of real estate. Very curious to see what that means. Is the Bobby Shmurda Mall gonna open? Is he gonna open a franchise of recording studios? Is he just gonna buy a big ass house off the hot nigga money? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What do you guys think about this? Do you think that this is a smart decision? Do you think that Bobby Shmurda should even be out to begin with? Like, should he be out in the club or should he be at home? Because he's been in prison for a long time, you guys. Not saying that him being out in the club is right. But I do feel like if you are going to be out and doing that, at least have a mask on. And don't stay long. And come home and take a shower and wash your clothes. You know, what you guys think? I thought it was a good idea. Betty Ann is saying, if y'all don't leave him alone, LOL, good for him. And I agree. Keisha Smith is saying he not trying to get caught slipping. And I agree. You guys got to think. The same way that Bobby Shmurda probably didn't realize that video was being taken of him and he was denying a drink, that same video could have been a video of him taking a drink or doing shots or whatever, you know? So it's just like Bianca is saying. Bianca is saying better safe than sorry. 100 million trillion %. Christina, well, Gabby is saying, Freaky Walrus, hey girl. And let's all say hi to Freaky Walrus. Hey girl. But I meant to click Christina. Christina is saying, I don't drink. It's weird that people think it is a big deal to not want a drink, even if he wasn't on parole. And you know what, Christina? I really have to commend you for that because you bring up a very interesting point. And I'll speak for myself. To me, because I'm of a particular age and everyone around me, and that's me being honest, everyone around me does drink. If a friend were to come out with me and say that they weren't drinking, I don't know if I would be like, what? Like, girl, have a drink. As much so as I'm like, well, girl, are you having fun? Not to say that alcohol is the only way that you can have fun, but when you're in an environment where everyone else is drunk, I know I personally don't enjoy being in that kind of environment. But let me know what y'all think. Do you like being the sober one of your friends, or do you like to be part of all the action, acting wild and crazy? I'm not the fun, sober friend. I'm like the angry mom that's like wrangling you into the Uber that's like, get in here. So let me know what you think. Very, very interesting, Christina. Shout out to you. I'm dead at all y'all saying hi to Freaky Walrus. Shout out to Freaky. But you guys, speaking of someone else, he's doing things a little freakily. Shout out to Alex Schiffman. She's got to teach me some good transitions, girl. Speaking of someone who may not be drinking while he's in the studio, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, y'all, he back, and he got music on the way. And I know that this is a little bit of older news that I didn't get a chance to speak about on Friday because the show is early. But I really wanted to talk about this. Justin Bieber announced on Friday that he is releasing his 6th studio album. It's titled Justice. And guess what day it come out, y'all? It come out on March 19th. Now hold on to that date in your brain. Right? Hold on to that date in your brain. This is what Justin is saying. In a time where there's so much wrong with this broken planet, we all crave healing and justice for humanity. In creating this album, my goal is to make music that will provide comfort, to make songs that people can relate to and connect to so they feel less alone. Suffering, injustice, and pain can leave people feeling helpless. Music is a great way of reminding each other that we aren't alone. Music can be a way to relate to one another and connect with one another. I know that I cannot simply solve injustice by making music, but I do know that if we all do our part by using our gifts to serve this planet and each other, that we are that much closer to being united. This is me doing a small part, my part. I want to continue the conversation of what justice looks like so we can continue to heal. Wow. That was a very lengthy statement. What did you guys feel about that? What do you think? Just off the rip, how you feel about Justin coming out with justice? He coming out with justice, y'all. Now, I'm sure that there are, because I'm not looking at the comments, but I'm sure there are some of you guys that are wondering, hold on, when was the last time Justin put out an album? Because when I saw this news on Friday, I had to go on ahead and literally Google, when the last time Justin put out an album. And it turns out, y'all, that Changes actually was released in February 2020. So just a year has gone by since Justin has released music. And although Changes was not my favorite album by any stretch of the imagination, it was not my favorite Justin album. For context, my favorite Justin project is Journals. But this Changes, it was nominated for 3 Grammys, y'all. And even though it was nominated, Justin was upset that it wasn't considered R&B, because he definitely sought out to create an R&B record. Doesn't seem like the Grammys were feeling it. But something else that y'all, I'm sure, want to know or want to find out is why this is a big deal to me. Now, this is a big deal to me because Selena Gomez Revolution, isn't that coming out on March 12th? Y'all, please correct me if I'm wrong, right? Get me together. Selenators, if you're here, can you put some crowns in the chat just for old time's sake, y'all? Put some crowns in the chat and let me know. Let me clear my nostrils. Selena Gomez's project is coming out on the 12th. So y'all, this is not me purposely trying to link Justin and Selena together, because if that were the case, I'm smarter than that and I would have put them both in the thumbnail. But I'm just curious to know, you guys, why do you think that Justin, and I'll even put his team in there, Justin, Scooter, Haley, girl, everybody, why do you think that they keep wanting to drop around the time of Selena? This is a really big moment for her, and I'm excited for her. She's seemingly trying to just stay out of trouble and do her own thing. So I don't really understand why Justin would be releasing a project around her. This is only going to prompt more conversations around Jelena, and not even them separately, right? I don't mind talking about Justin separate from Selena, because we will here, right? If you're a believer, don't worry. We're going to talk about Justin separately and Selena separately, right? But if Justin keeps planning his rollouts around Selena, what do Selena and Justin expect the media to talk about, right? They're coming out within like a week of each other. I just want to know why, you guys. What do you think? Why do you think Justin and Scooter keep planning these releases around Selena? Jamie is saying they want to keep taking that Queen's moment every single time. It's the only time he can get clout. And you know what? I would love for Justin to be able to just drop a project and it do well on its own and Selena not be mentioned. And you know what? Maybe no, because I feel like Changes was around the time of Rare, right? I was going to say at least Changes was only about Haley, but even then the conversation was about Justin and Selena and Haley. I would love it if it was just Justin putting out a project and we all were like, oh, this is really good music. Instead, it's like Justin's putting out an album and Selena's is already coming out. And why would he do that? You know? Very, very, very weird. What you saying, Emily? Emily said, because Scooter is a leech. You better let Scoot know it's time to kick and push. Kay is saying, don't compare Justin to Selena. He's a global pop star. That's it. Are you trying to say that Selena is more than a global pop star because she is an actress, philanthropist, business owner, business ambassador, brand ambassador? Selena has a lot of things on her resume. So I feel y'all. How about this, you guys? I don't want Green Chair Chats to be a not safe space for believers, because this is a safe space for Selenators. So if you do like Justin, truthfully, feel free to make your voice known. Don't be scared. Don't be watching silently. Selenators, be kind to the believers if they are here, because Justin, even though for some it may be hard to believe, the same way that Selenators would say something like Selena Gomez saved my life, believers would probably say the same thing about Justin, just two different ways. But it is still really sketchy. And it is fun to be messy about the fact that Justin is certainly releasing around Selena. And I'm going to ask y'all, Rebels of the Revolution, let me know, whether you're watching live or down below, whose album are you going to listen to first? If they both came out on the same day, whose album would you listen to first? That's what I'm curious about. Let me know in the Chizzy chat. Wow. Oh, Patricia is saying, wow, we are 152 strong here for Mr. R. That's me. Oh my God. Hey, y'all. I really don't look at the number at all. I really just try to give y'all the best product and give us a good conversation so y'all can go on about y'all day. But shout out to y'all if y'all are just joining. We're going to get into Justin. We've got some Taylor Swift news. We've got some Kardashian stuff coming up. Do not worry. Just make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and tell anyone else you know that stands the same celebrities that you stand, because that's why you're watching this, to watch this show, and tell them to give a thumbs up as well. And on your way out, buy some merch, especially if you ain't got no face mask. Oh my God, y'all. This is so funny. I see y'all are letting your voices be known. Y'all are over here like, Selena. I see y'all, Selena album. Emily is saying, I listen to whatever makes my ears happy, and I'm sorry Justin has been missing it for me. And Emily, hey, I feel the same way. Justin's not a bad artist. For me, it's just like, it's not moving me, y'all. I ain't running. You know how the girls be running? Like if Nicki dropped the album, y'all, there might not even be a show. I would flip the desk over and go and listen to Nicki, but I don't know. Justin ain't been giving it to me, but let's hold out. Maybe Justice could be just what has been missing. Let's hope, y'all. Anyway, Kelly is saying, because he knows that he'll get Selena's people to watch him in his mess. Listen, Kelly, you are not wrong. Now, this is what we're going to talk about next. This is a little bit of a serious topic. I want to offer some trigger warnings, just because we're going to talk about something a little bit serious involving T.I. and Tiny. So hold on to your wigs. Bam. Let's get into it. T.I. and Tiny. They are very much in some hot water, you guys. It's not looking good. It's not looking thick and juicy. Just know that. And I would like to know what you guys think about this particular situation. And I'll leave it at that. Let me go ahead and get them up on the screen. Now, an attorney has asked authorities to launch a criminal investigation against T.I. and Tiny after dozens of women have come forward with allegations of sexual abuse. Now, there was a press release that states, it's a press release from the New York-based TA, Blackburn Law, that more than 30 women have contacted him and have accused this couple and their associates of forced drugging, kidnapping, and intimidation in at least 2 states, including California and Georgia. The release continues to say that these criminal allegations span over 15 years of methodical, sadistic abuse against women in various venues throughout the country. These individual claims paint eerily consistent allegations of women prior to or upon immediately entering T.I. and Tiny's home, hotel, or tour bus were coerced by Tiny to ingest drugs or unknowingly administered drugs to impair the victim's ability to consent to subsequent sexual acts. Now, what y'all think about that? T.I. and Tiny. Show on VH1, very popular. T.I. used to manage, or he was the one that helped bring Iggy Azalea to the forefront. What do y'all think about that? Very, very interesting and scary. Very interesting and scary situation to think that, let's just speculate, right? That's what we do here. Hashtag speculation, not confirmation. That's like, you meet Tiny in a club and the next day she says, come hang out with me and my husband in the hotel, allegedly. And then these sorts of things happen. It's not looking good, y'all. I don't like it. Jessica saying, can't say I'm surprised, especially T.I. Y'all, I got a little bit more that I want to read from this because I'm still trying to make sense of it myself. Now, T.I. and Tiny's attorneys are denying everything, and they're stating that T.I. and Tiny deny in the strongest possible terms these unsubstantiated and baseless allegations. We are confident that if these claims are thoroughly and fairly investigated, no charges will be forthcoming. These allegations are nothing more than the continuation of a sordid shakedown campaign that began on social media. The Harrises implore everyone not to be taken in by these obvious attempts to manipulate the press and misuse the justice system. Now, what they're talking about is a situation that you might have missed. Is like this all began when one of their former employees, I believe her name was like Sabrina Patterson or something like that, Sabrina Peterson. She claimed on Instagram that the rapper once held her at gunpoint and shared accounts from more than 24 women who described being pressured to take drugs, strip, and engage with sexual acts with T.I. and Tiny or others present. Now, what's interesting about this, you guys, is that T.I. and Tiny have sort of come out and said that the woman that first came out with the allegations, this is someone that has been trying to smear them both for over a decade. And I get that, right? Because extortion happens every day. You set up a celebrity, you have a celebrity's nudes, and you're like, you know what, in order for me to not post your nudes, give me $100,000. You know what I mean? Those sorts of things happen. However, we have to go back to the press release where it's like more than 30 women have come forward. 30? That's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's times 3. Brothers and sisters and in-betweeners. That's 30. 30. Miss Clee is saying, hopefully it ain't true, but the truth will come out. Keisha is saying, I believe the stories, but there isn't a case. They don't have physical proof unless these women are suing in a civil suit. Come on, Keisha. Let us know. I don't know a lot about the law. But to me, as an outsider looking in, this does not sound good. This does not sound good at all. At all. Kat is saying, if true, this is bad. And then Julia is saying, why would the victims go for Tiny too, though? Hypothetically, I think that the victims go for, you mean in terms of going back to the hotel room with her? I think that allegedly, if this sort of thing happens, I imagine that people would want to go with Tiny or anyone that's part of an entourage because they're associated with T.I. T.I. is the biggest celebrity, and I don't want to discount the fact that Tiny has a lot of fans, you guys. Tiny is from the group back in the 90s, Escape. Candy Burris from Real Housewives of Atlanta. They all are part of this R&B singing group. Very popular, massively popular. And if you're an Escape fan and you see Tiny in the club, you might go up to her. What if she's charming? Next thing you know, you packing a little overnight bag and you meet Miss Tiny next day. You never know. If it is true, I do want justice to be served because it does make sense and we should believe the victims, right? More than 30 people have come forward. We have to consider that. We have to raise an eyebrow at that. But I'm very curious, and what we'll be telling you guys is if this particular thing is settled in court or out of court. That's how we're going to know. What do you guys think? What do you think? Josephina is saying, I'm a huge Escape stan. Whew. Julia saying, like to accuse both of them to me just seems super hard to prove, so it must be true. LOL. Julia, to be honest, what I'm thinking is that if this is true, let's say if this is true, there's going to be someone in the group. Like, you know how in the press release it's saying, and others? One of the others is going to snitch. And that's what I think. I just wouldn't be surprised because you never know what kind of money could be given to someone with the information. So I don't know. We're just going to have to see about that. Sorry, I'm just thinking about that again because that's scary stuff. That's scary stuff. But anyway, you guys, let's talk about Kim and Kanye. Let's talk about Kim and Kanye because their divorce papers were finally released. And do you guys want to know what's going on in them divorce papers? Let's talk about it. You know, Kim and Kanye are getting divorced. It is very sad. But it is also very good. This needs to happen. I want Kim and Kanye to get divorced, and then I want Kanye to go ahead and get help and release a tell-all book that really spills the tea on what's going on behind the Kar-Jenner gates. And I believe that I want Kim to go on ahead, like I've said in the past, and open up her own lawyer agency. I want her to film a show with her being sort of like the leader of the agency with a whole bunch of interns. I want to see Kim in the courtroom. Do you imagine how interesting that would be? But that's neither here nor there. So the divorce papers show that Kim and Kanye's official separation date remains to be decided in the eyes of the court. However, the paperwork was filed on Kim's behalf on February 22nd, and it shows that she cited irreconcilable differences, which we already know. Thankfully, they do have a prenup put in place, and they requested spousal support to be terminated as an option for either party in her divorce. And just so you guys know what kind of money we're playing around with when we talk about their divorce, Kim is worth $800 million and Kanye is worth $1.3 billion. Kim's divorce petition revealed she has filed for joint legal and physical custody of the couple's 4 children. That is North, Saint, Chicago, and of course, baby Psalm. Now, what's interesting to me is that Kim and Kanye, one of the biggest forces behind their separation wasn't really the rally, right? It wasn't the rally. It wasn't Kanye being in Wyoming. It wasn't Kanye always trying to be in the studio. He wasn't making no album. They had differing opinions on how to raise their children. Whew! How to raise their children. And let me tell you something, you guys. When it comes to parents and how to raise their baby, I have seen enough reality TV shows in my lifetime to know that raising the children will definitely be a huge force in why couples separate. Y'all truly have to be on the same page before y'all even have the babies. Keep in mind, I'm not a parent. So if you're a mom, please feel free to speak up and let me know what's really good. But I feel like if you're not on the same page with how to parent, what their values are going to be, what kind of moral, like, you know what I mean? Don't parents sit down and think, okay, I'm not planning their life out. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I want them to be a soccer star, but I want them to be kind. I want them to be accepting. I want to teach my child diversity. I want to make sure that if my child sees someone that looks different than them, that they're always going to be lovely. Like those kinds of things. So it makes me wonder what exactly they disagreed on in terms of raising the kids. Very, very curious. What do you guys think as I go on ahead and read this last little bit? Now, a source close to the estranged pair told People that they have a different vision of the world and how their kids should be raised. Kim will always support Kanye and his causes and encourages him with their kids, but her future with work, family, and life in general are strictly up to her. She makes it happen. Ha 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 ha. What you guys think about that? Kim always make it happen. I wonder if the reason behind their divorce really is the rally and all the things that I had mentioned previously, but because this is giving me positive Kim PR vibes, they're saying this instead, because how neutral, right? Because no matter how you disagree on how to raise your kids, right, there are always going to be people that agree with however Kim wants to raise the kids, and there are always going to be people that agree with how Kanye wants to raise the kids. So it becomes like a neutral thing versus it all being Kanye in the rally, Kanye said Kim Jong-un, Kanye peed on the Grammy. It's like both sides, you know? Very, very, very interesting. Julia is saying, I can maybe see the issue being Kanye not wanting the kids to be in the spotlight. I agree. I think that Kanye has seen a lot before and even during his marriage to Kim, and I'm sure that he does not want his children to be in the spotlight. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Jasmine is saying Kanye probably wants to have a more private life, and Kim knows them babies are money machines. You could be right, Jasmine. I would not be surprised if we got some sort of Kara Jenner baby something, some Psalm baby line, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. They are really good at business. So, hey, Kim is like, listen, do you want to keep living? I want to keep living lavish. So we're going to put these babies in these photo shoots and we're going to sell some Pampers. Could you imagine if the Kara Jenners came out with some Pampers, y'all? But y'all buy Kara Jenner Pampers? Very interesting. Brandy is saying parents have to be on the same page. If I tell my son no, he cannot run to his daddy, we co-parent, and get his way. Nah, it don't work like that. Parents, together or not, have to stand united. I agree, Brandy. You have to have a united front, or else your kid is going to grow up to learn that he can get over on one of y'all. Whoever the easier parent is, he knows that when he asks the bad cop parent and they say no, they could go to the good cop parent and they're going to say yes. So I absolutely agree with that, Brandy. Oh, Lord. All right, y'all. We're going to get into the last story of the day. And I just want to say thank you for sticking around. It's been a Monday. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Please give the video a thumbs up, pick some merch up on your way out, and let's get into Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, where you at, girl? Where you at? There she is. Taylor Swift slamming Netflix. Yes. Okay. Now, Taylor Swift is not happy. She was not happy this morning, and understandably so. I personally could not imagine watching TV and then all of a sudden they make, like, the show makes a joke about me that is rather rude, or it makes me uncomfortable. I just don't like. But you guys, let me just get into it. So there's this new Netflix show called Ginny and Georgia, and the show has been creating all of this buzz for a lot of the wrong reasons. Now, some people are really into it. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's been sort of compared to Gilmore Girls. So if you're a Gilmore Girls fan, maybe that would be something you're into. But Ginny and Georgia follows Ginny Miller, a 15-year-old who is more mature than her 30-year-old mother, Georgia, in a New England town. That does kind of give me Gilmore Girls. I don't know what Gilmore Girls is about, but I feel like, is that not the premise? Two chicks, mom and daughter? Anyway, I'm going to put up, basically, there was a joke in the show about one of the characters going through more men than Taylor Swift or something like that. I'll put up Taylor's response to the tweet, but just know that many Swifties and many fans heard the joke and they were pissed. They found it to be very misogynistic. They found it to be disrespectful of Taylor, especially with everything that she has gone through and fought for in terms of feminism. I also was a little bit confused as to why this particular joke made it into the show. As a man, it did not offend me personally, but as a fan of Taylor Swift, I was offended because she was upset. Now, let me pull up her tweet. Taylor Swift says, "Hey, Ginny and Georgia, 2010 called and it wants its lazy, deeply sexist joke back. How about we stop degrading hardworking women by defining this horseshit as funny? Also, at Netflix, after Miss Americana, this outfit doesn't look cute on you. Heartbreak emoji. Happy Women's History Month, I guess." And as you guys can see, there's the graphic underneath Taylor's tweet with the subtext from the show that says, "What do you care? You go through men faster than Taylor Swift." What do you guys think? Do you guys feel like this joke was done in a lighthearted way, or did you find it to be misogynistic, offensive? I want to bring to the forefront that it doesn't make it right, but I think back to when I was younger, like 12, 13, and Michael Jackson was going through all of his stuff in the media, and it seemed like we could not escape a Michael Jackson joke here, a Michael Jackson joke. He was just the butt of the joke. And it didn't sit well with me, this Taylor Swift thing, because I feel like that the theme of Taylor Swift and the ex-boyfriend things was like, that was like 8, 9 years. I feel like that was like a decade ago. Like, why are y'all still like running with this shit? Like, it's not funny. That's like the most local joke I've ever heard. Like, that's something that I expect to see from someone that doesn't listen to Taylor Swift from my high school on Facebook. You know what I mean? Not something that I expect to see on a Netflix thing. I don't know, and I love me some Netflix, but this one didn't sit well with me, you guys. I didn't find it funny, but if you've seen the show, let me know what you think. Angelina is saying, hang on, let me pull it up. My bad, Brittany. Angelina is saying that it's bad writing, and Amanda is saying, I think people find ways to jab others during shows or performances. Brittany is saying, oh wow, I haven't gotten to that part in the show yet, but jokes like that are hella outdated and unnecessary. Brandy is saying misogynistic. Men can do it, but women can't. And I absolutely agree. And that was actually going to be one of my next points. So I'm glad, Brandy, you and we're here today. Why do men get to go through this period of like when even before they turn 18, 19, they're like encouraged to like lose your virginity and sleep with as many people as possible, and it becomes like a rite of passage and they get pats on the back. But if a girl does that, a young woman, old woman, whatever age, just being free with her body and having sex, because that's what we as humans do, we have sex. I don't understand why it becomes like a bad thing for women. I feel like if you want to have sex, have sex. If you're a man or a woman, have sex. Who cares? Be safe. That's my thing. Ellie is saying Taylor was right. Julia is saying, like, this was going around when I was in high school 10 years ago. I agree. And Amanda is saying they have done the same to Selena about her kidney. It's ridiculous. And Amanda, you're absolutely right. If you guys missed on Friday, the first episode of the Green Chair Chats for the weekday edition, we spoke about Selena and Francia being made fun of on that Chinese show, and they had to issue an apology. It's not funny. It's not funny. And you know what? I feel like in this day and age, if you're really a writer, you can find a way to make a joke about Taylor Swift that's not that. I don't know. Emily is saying the people from The Office talk about this a lot. Hollywood loves making jokes at others' expense. And I agree. It's very, very true, but it doesn't make it right. But you know what? We always gonna steer towards the light. And that's right. All righty, you guys. I had a blast today, but I gotta go and figure my life out. I hope you guys enjoyed this Kiki from the Green Chair. I had a blast. Be sure to subscribe if this is your first time. Ring the notification bell so that you can always be kept in the loop when the show goes live. If you guys want an alert or a notification when I put the video up, the scheduled thumbnail, so you guys know where to be and what time, you got to ring that bell. Refresh your homepage about an hour before the show. It should come right on up. And just know that you guys are my people. I love you. And just in case no one has told you, don't you forget, y'all, hold on, let me get my spin ready, that the world keeps spinning and so shall you. And until tomorrow, you guys, have a great rest of your day. Mwah! I'll be seeing you.